Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'm going to talk about whether Gen X will survive what's coming. And this whole thing with the Trump bombing Iran, it just seems fishy to me. And there's, again, with everything that the government is involved in, I have a lot of questions. But to find out what I'm talking about what's coming, we have to go back in time and think about the end or the beginning of every decade, clear back to the 1990, and we'll see that some major calamity has occurred in the United States or across the world at the end, or at the change of the decade, at the like 2009, 2010, 2011, like that. So it just takes a moment to look back at the beginning of every decade, and you'll see that something is coming in or around 2030, something big. And so I look at what we're experiencing now, and it really seems like a setup, like a prelude to something larger on the horizon, something building up to 2030. And why do I say that? Well, we just bombed Iran, and think about it. There's no outcry. There's no repercussions. There's no real, no world. No other countries really doing anything about it. No sanctions, no retaliation, absolutely nothing. The president or whatever of Iran said a few harsh words to Trump, and I guess Vladimir Putin over there in Russia said some stuff to Trump too, tweeted some stuff or something, and that's it. That's all. Now, as far as I know, that there might be something that they're doing. Something might be happening right now. They might be retaliating right now, and I just haven't heard about it yet. But this is, I'm recording this on June 23rd, and there has been no retaliation, no talks of retaliation, no talks about, sanctions or any repercussions from this, none of that. We just went over there and bombed another country that was doing nothing to us directly. We just said that they were trying to get nukes, and we bombed them. And of course, there was a lot of outcry about it. There's whether you support the bombing or don't support the bombing, that's neither here nor there. My point about it is that the repercussions or lack thereof, there's no retaliation at all. There's nothing. It's just quiet, right? So it kind of seems to me like this is just a buildup. And when we look back at when Obama sent them, I don't know how many, 1.3 billion or something, or, hundreds of millions or something like that on a just pallet of cash over there. Now, looking at it now, that could have very well gone to build these fake nuclear facilities, right? Their politicians over there, their rulers or whatever, they take their little cut off the top, and then they put the rest of the money into building these facilities so that we could bomb them later. They're just hollow, empty shells of facilities, maybe a little bit of clockwork in there, some bells and whistles to make it look legit, and then we bomb them, right? That would sort of explain why Iran isn't completely going apeshit over this. Another thing is that none of the other countries are going apeshit over it either. None of the other world leaders. China isn't muscling in. Russia isn't muscling in anywhere and doing anything dramatic. They're all just, tweeting each other and shit. It just seems really weird to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but that just seems weird to me. I wouldn't put it past the powers that be, right? The establishment, the banking establishment that's running the whole world, to have this whole thing as a setup. And we're just getting geared up. We're getting brainwashed with propaganda to the fact that Iran is the new enemy. Okay, they're our enemy now. That's just getting that normalizing that Iran is the enemy, and that will lead into some more stuff. Come 2030, that'll lead into something bigger. Some kind of big event will happen in 2029, 2030, 2031, something like that. Some kind of major event, false flag event that will kick off a new era of police state, right? Just like 9/11 did. And whether you believe no matter what you believe about 9/11, they took full advantage of it. Our government did, and governments across the world. That's one thing I learned here recently, is that governments across the world took advantage of 9/11 and instituted police state tactics on their population because of 9/11. It wasn't just America. Now, whatever is coming in 2030, we as Gen Xers, we've already lived through all kinds of stuff, right? Acid rain, an ice age, COVID and AIDS epidemics, Black Monday and the recession of 2009, the hole in the ozone layer and global warming. We survived Y2K and the forever wars on drugs and terror, the satanic panic, the Cold War, and killer bees. We've seen it all. We've heard it all. We know, we know what false flags are now. We know we can smell the bullshit from 10 miles away. They're not gonna scare Gen X anymore. They're just not gonna do it. If they think they're gonna scare Gen X with some kind of shit, then they're barking up the happy tree. We've just been through so much and seen so much now that nothing's gonna surprise us. We're going to be skeptical. We're going to question no matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter what they tell us. We're going to question that shit, and we're going to survive. We're ready for the apocalypse. Most of us are anyway. A large number of us are expecting, have been expecting some kind of apocalyptic event, and kind of hoping for it, actually. So, and whatever they pull off is not going to be apocalyptic level. You know what I'm saying? They're probably going to start some war or something. And that's just completely conjecture on my part. I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to do. It could be a fake alien invasion or what. I have no idea. But this whole thing with Iran just smells fishy to me. And let me know in the comments if you think I'm barking up the wrong tree. Am I making sense here, or am I just a whack job idiot? But it just seems wrong. It seems amiss. It's like a big nothing burger. They went and bombed another country, for God's sake, and just nothing. It's like, a new episode of Seinfeld came out, or Friends or something came out. It's just not a big deal. That just seems odd to me. I can't get over that, how quiet everything is. Of course, they one side or the other was hyping it up to be World War III. We're kicking off World War III, but I didn't believe that for a second. Now, for them to be building up to World War III over the next 5 years, yes, I believe that. I do believe that. That's probably what they're headed for. And as far as Gen X goes, the younger people, the younger generations, they've been indoctrinated with this climate change pretty much every waking moment of their lives online, right? And through the media and stuff, it's just climate change. So they're just indoctrinated, and they're going to be afraid, and they're going to be shitting their pants, and that's to be expected. And the older generations, the ones that are left, are just totally plugged into the matrix and brainwashed to the hilt, right? Most of them anyway. Now, again, I'm not talking about all of the younger generations. I'm not talking about all of Gen X. We've got our Karens out there, male and female. I know y'all are going to get mad and say a bunch of stuff and whatever. That's fine. I get it. You're down with the mainstream media. That's cool. But I just believe that they're a minority in Gen X, where they're a majority in the boomers, the boomer generation. And I don't know about the younger generations. I think that a lot of them are awake to a certain degree. So just more so than the boomers anyway. Just my kind of feeling I get online, browsing around online and stuff and paying attention to what people are saying. But yeah, we're going to be the only real stalwart, group of people to stand against this tide of lies and deceit that's coming. Another thing I wanted to bring up is that this whole thing, this bombing, has divided the MAGA movement again. You're for Trump bombing the shit out of them, or you're against him bombing them. All right. Now, we already divided them up one time when Elon left and claimed that he was on the Epstein client list, right? That divided everybody. Some of them followed Elon and some of them stayed with Trump. Now Trump pulls this stuff, starts dropping bombs after he was talking anti-war his whole time running and the time he was in office before, and all of a sudden he's a bomber. Now that's divided everybody again. The remaining MAGA people are now divided again. All we see is division. Except for those of us who are just sitting in the middle and witnessing all this stuff and, trying to figure it out, using our minds to think and using common sense. We're not divided. I'm still staying the course. I supported Trump and I still do, but I still have questions. You know what I mean? I still have questions. I got questions about Elon Musk. I've got questions about all of them. I don't trust any of them totally. Having said that, I can say that I think that the bulk of Generation X is with me. I think that a lot of us, though we support Trump, we're not fawning, after him and completely in love with him and back every single thing he does. I don't believe that. And when the time comes, we're gonna come out of this thing. In 2030, Gen X is gonna come out on the other end of this thing, and we might be the only sane ones left. Maybe the only ones left. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. But I would be willing to bet that something is going to happen. I'm not fear mongering. I'm just saying, look at what's happened in the past. The end of every decade, the beginning of every new decade, some big event happens. And it's either one hell of a coincidence, which I just don't believe in, or they're cooking some shit up. They're doing it on purpose. They give us 10 years to kind of settle down and then ramp back up with the next phase of their plan. And they have been saying that 2030 was the Great Reset. They've been quoted on that. So yeah, I don't know if it could be another epidemic. Maybe it's an epidemic that will be loosed by Iran, or I say loose by Iran. Iran will be the one who catches the blame, that kind of thing. So, but we're going to come out of it. We're going to be all right. Gen X, we have the best shot at maintaining normal lives. We're ready for this kind of shit, if not completely, totally, prepped, ready. With all the physical tools and instruments and knowledge we need for surviving an apocalypse and living in post-apocalyptic world, and we're mentally prepared. At least we're expecting it, at least. You know what I mean? Where a lot of people are going to just be caught blindsided with this shit. And they're going to be clueless. And they're going to lose everything. And I'll leave you there with that. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like to become a member of Gen X Thinks, I'll leave that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there. Or you can head over to Buy Me a Coffee and buy me a cup of coffee. I appreciate those of you who do that, so thank you very much. If you're interested in Gen X gear, we got some pretty cool stuff over there at Redbubble. Gen X Thinks and Gen X branded stuff. T-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, hoodies, all kinds of cool stuff over there. But I'll leave that link down in the description too for any of you who are interested. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. That helps out one hell of a lot, so thank you very much to those of you who do that. I sincerely appreciate it. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.